Yeah, I thought in the first half, looked really lethargic, really reactive. We couldn't really get into the game. We had that one early chance from Maddie. But aside from that, it was pretty one-way traffic in that first half. Second half, I thought we came out, we looked a little bit better. We had a little bit of momentum. We had that chance right when the subs came on. Um, and then their goal comes at a really tough time for us. Um, yeah, and then we just couldn't claw our way back into the game. We lacked a little bit of quality, and we didn't win first and second ball and do all those little basic things that you got to do to win games in this league.
And just, we were talking to Phoebes earlier, and she mentioned despite things not going so well, it was tied for a while. What did you think of the way you guys defended in that first half, despite, things not going well too early with the goal in the eighth, and then, Angel City getting a lot of chances up till the break?
I thought in the box we defended well, but I just saw the stats. Like I think they had 48 touches in our box in the whole game. Like that's because our defending wasn't good enough higher up the field, and we need to solve that. And that's on me. We had a game plan, it didn't work. We needed to change it. We changed it. We got a little bit better, um, but yeah, I said to the players at the end, I think the biggest thing we've got to do from tonight is learn from it. Because we can't let this be the thing that defines us, So, I think we need to understand why we were the way we were tonight, and obviously try and solve it for the next game.
Thanks, Charles. Jada, go ahead.
Thanks. Laura, you had said that you wanted to use these three matches to evaluate. I know this is very fast after the game, but what are you kind of getting as far as early assessments then when you take the three games?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that jumps out is we need to get our players healthy. I think, we're missing a lot of experience right now, which I'm not saying that would have been a difference in the game tonight, but I think we lacked a little bit of experience tonight. And in, really tough games, which tonight was, that experience can be the difference between you coming out of here with a point or more or nothing. So I think that's number one. I think secondly, we've had some today wasn't, a throw it in the box. It was atrocious the whole game. There were some good moments in it, but we have to learn from tonight, the way that we've learned from the first two games. But obviously when you don't get a result, it's a bit of a different emotion around that. And yeah, we've got to understand that, teams will have watched us play. They'll want to compete against us because they know that we're playing some decent football. And knowing that, you've got to rise to that challenge. And I don't think we did that tonight, but that's a one-off. We did that in the first two games. So it's just mainly for me, it's about solving why we were the way we were tonight, and keep the good from it, and understand the little things that we didn't do well and how we can make that better. But obviously a promising start to the year. We've got a lot of young talent coming through, and we've got to try and work out ways in which we can mix that experience and talent together in better ways than we did tonight, really.
And then you had mentioned the experience. Obviously, one of those is Lynn. Is there any concern as far as her not being able to play yet, or what's I guess the long-term picture with her? When will they see her as her debut?
I don't know the answer to that. I'm hopeful it will be against Orlando, but I don't know the answer to that.
Thanks, Jada. And then we'll go to Van.
Yeah, I was just curious how I know Fishlock was out today, Jess was out, so I think that made a big impact on the midfield. So what is the plan moving forward? Like if she's not included, how you deal with that?
Yeah, obviously we went with Sammy Mazer today, which she's deserved that opportunity, and I thought that she did some good things. I think, yeah, Jess is a miss to any team. But we've got to work out ways in which when not just her qualities not on the field, but her leadership, right? Like not having Lynn, Jess, Lou on the field, like that's big for us. So we've got to work out ways when those people aren't around, like who can step up and bring that leadership role and steady the ship for us in those moments. And I think that's a key factor to us. And yeah, in answer to your question directly, I don't know what we would do if Jess couldn't play in the next game, but I think we have to make sure that it wasn't necessarily just a midfield issue for me today, but I think we've just got to be a bit better in our clarity of what we want to try and go out and do in the game. And I felt we had it going into the game, but we didn't execute it. And whether that was because we conceded early and it knocked us, I don't know. But we need to get to the bottom of that, I think.
And do you think that Claudia is stepping up more in a leadership role in the back line compared to?
Yeah, I mean, obviously she's young, but she's now in her 3rd year of starting. And she didn't have to make too many saves tonight like she did last week, but she had to do a bit with her feet, and I think we can get her a little bit better at that. But yeah, you know, she's got to keep evolving in that leadership role, because I think being a starting goalkeeper in this league, no matter who you are, you've got to have that in your locker.
Thanks, Dan. Charles?
I know you've had some success with bringing on Oko and Emery in games late. What have you liked from what they've been able to give you in that? I know obviously it sticks out maybe a little bit more in the Gotham match to begin the year, but it seemed like they were able to create a bit when they came on in this one as well. So what have you liked just from seeing them come off the bench for you so far this season?
Yeah, they just give a different dynamic, you know. I think Coco is technically gifted, strong, powerful, can hold the ball up, can create things in and around the 18-yard box. Emery's really good 1v1, has great service from wide areas. So we know that we have that mixture, right? And I think we've obviously gone with Anna and Maddie out wide for most games this year. But the aim is that we have 6 forwards, 7 if you include Mercado, that can sort of like, it's which 3 we need to start, which 3 we need to come on. How we can sort of balance that, I think, is what we're looking for. And hopefully there'll be a day where I can really choose between all 7. I can't wait for that.
I know you'll figure it out. We'll hear the word quality a bit more. And then I'd just like to ask, I know you mentioned you're not totally sure on a timeline for Lynn, and I know you were asked about Jess. Do you imagine? We'll ask you how we did after the Carolina match. Do you have optimism for Jess, for Orlando, and then what about Jordan Heidema? I know she missed this one as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty optimistic, all 3. Jess has actually gone to Wales camp. So Jess was like 24, 48 hours away from playing. Like if this game was in a day or 2 days, she would have been able to play. Lynn and Jordan are both back on the field. They're both training. So that's where we're at with them. I think it's just to hopefully can we have no setbacks and make sure that we can push them through.